Good evening, it's the Pro League and we're back in business. Week 3 about to kick off and the big names are back as well. We're going to be talking about all your favorite teams. We're going to be talking about G2. Their players currently busy in China. We'll be talking all about Mixwell as well as all of that good stuff. FaZe as well are going to be doing battle as we venture into week 3. Lots to look forward to, of course. They've got back from Katowice and started playing Counter-Strike again. We're going to be talking about all of that and more with these gents behind me. And let's jump into it.
Looking to ace this one out. This could be one of the best rounds. Oh! He's got all 5!
He's trying to pick one up. Sunny with the Deagle, trying to do more. Letting us see runs distraction. Has he got the bullets? He has.
And I'm going to be hanging out with these guys here. We have Chad Birchall, Janko Paunovic, Henry G, and Matthew Trivet.
Nailed it.
Thank you very much. Practice makes perfect. I'm your host, Alex Richardson, and indeed, we're going straight back into the fray. And this is your pre-show here at the Xfinity Analyst Desk, live from the Intel Esports Arena. And indeed, this is the GameFlip pre-show. I'm getting them all in, smashing it. Either way, this is, of course, a quick reminder of why we're calling this the GameFlip pre-show. They're actually investing in the Pro League and offering you guys $10,000 US of snacks. That's right. You can go ahead and get yourself hardware, get yourself some game time, in-game items, all of that good stuff. Hit the link. It's gameflip.com/ESL to see what is on offer and to take part. We'd love it.
It's good. I thought for a moment there you meant like $10,000 worth of Doritos or something.
Dude, imagine. I don't know how much that would be. Would that fill up? That would fill up a room.
10,000 worth of Doritos.
Well, or any.
Well, usually half those bags are full of air, so I don't know.
That's true. Sometimes you get lucky,
yeah,
though. Sometimes you do get lucky. Anyway, snacks aside, guys, we have got some Counter-Strike snacks for you to nibble on tonight. In fact, we'll bring up the schedule so you can see exactly what we have to look forward to. Our analysts and casters have been talking about how this is a pretty stacked day, and indeed, Henry, it's probably quite tough for you to choose one game in particular.
For me, it's got to be the G2 game, just because of the question mark around them right now. Obviously, big news coming out this week. The Shocks will be stepping down, and we've got MBK coming in, and surprise, surprise, Mixwell joining the lineup as well. So that's got to be the hot match of today.
Sure. I blame it all on you, Henry. You had that rant,
that horrible
last week about G2, and look at this.
True.
Shots is out.
I remember actually flying to where were we going? I think it would have been Starladder. I shared the plane with MBK. We've flown around a lot lately, and he actually said when we were sitting there, I said, you know, who's going to replace Shocks when he goes out for surgery? And we were just chatting, and then in the middle of the conversation, he said something like, do you know if Mixwell speaks much French? And at that point, I was like, oh, okay, something's going on.
Well, he was tweeting saying, I'm learning French
He
right
did,
now.
yeah, that was a while ago as well.
Yeah. I think NBK was literally already knew the answer. I think he was just kind of giving me a bit of an Easter egg.
Having some fun with it. All right, I like that. And our analysts, of course, we're going to be talking about the majority of this pre-show. You casters, though, Matt and Henry, we're talking to you when we do get into that first game. mousesports FaZe, that's another one to look forward to. We'll talk to those guys in just a moment. But first, guys, talking about standings, we have to try and get our head around exactly what this means. We talked actually quite a lot about G2 and their shortcomings. They are playing today, but they're not doing too well in their standings. In fact, most of the series, they've either split or they've gone 0 points. I mean, this has been a bit of a nightmare for the French.
True, and it seems to be a recurring theme for them, right? Like, it seems like every season they get off to that bad start, especially in Season 5, which they ended up winning the whole thing at the finals in Dallas. So always a chance for them to come back, but yeah, you can see that it's not looking pretty so far.
Yeah, it's a long climb for these guys, I think, and to have this roster change, to have this whole debacle going down mid-season once again, it's just not something you want to have to deal with, but we do see teams come out on top once they've made the roster change. So that could be the resurgence G2 need to get them into that top 7 now, because EU has 7 spots going to the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. A new announcement there, as well as, of course, some slots for the APAC region. We get to see that in action. Excited for that. Noting the yellow logos at the top here, Janko, though. Admittedly, almost entirely because of games played, but 6 wins in the column for Na'Vi and Space Soldiers is not to be overlooked.
Absolutely, and, you know, obviously there's a bit of controversy at the moment around Na'Vi and, you know, Simple, Flamey not traveling with their respective teams to WESG. You know, after that loss to Godsend to not qualify for the ECS League. So, you know, a lot of things happening over there.
Yeah, lots of moving parts for Na'Vi. We won't be seeing them play today. And in North America, Chad, as well, something that's just jumped straight off the page to me is the fact that, you know, the big hard hitters are not hitting hard.
Yeah, SK have obviously been on a bit of a downturn lately. I think they're looking to bounce
not showing
back.
up as well, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely want to bounce back. This is a league that you can get a spot in the Intel Grand Slam, right? And they're one of the teams with 2 victories. So that's something that they're going to need to be getting fixed, right? There's 5 slots now for, well, no, 6 slots now for North America still. So there's still a big chance for them to turn it around. But I think it's just the early stages of the season, right? It's a long season. There's a lot of games to be played. So.
And also, SK are one of those teams that they don't necessarily care about immediate results. They care about building up their form and regaining like good form and a good level of play, because obviously they've been struggling lately, not making it into the playoffs of 2 tournaments in a row basically, or losing to Liquid in the first one in Kiev. So for them it's just about how do we get really good again, and then the results are going to come naturally after that.
We need to note as well, I think 4 of those losses were forfeits.
Yeah.
I'm 90% sure.
3 or 4.
3 or 4, yeah. So 6 losses and most of them are forfeits.
It's not gone well. It hasn't. Absolutely not. mousesports are actually in that middle ground, and this win here potentially could really shape things up, however, going up against FaZe. And before we get into any of that, of course, there are big names in that. I want to know if any of those big names are in your rosters. Fantasy League time. Chad, word on the street is you've been doing your homework. Yanko, first things first. You going for the Henry G strat here? Just lock it in from the start of the season?
Yeah, I think I need to show some faith in my players.
Your boys.
It is about trying to win, but also it's about loyalty, and I think that's something that needs to be taught. I'm sticking with my guns.
I think you can still update your team now at home if you want to play. So we can just send Yanko out if he wants to change it, but I guess he wants to stay with us. But if you're at home and you want to change your teams, there's time.
If you're not Yanko,
if you're not Yanko and you're not,
you can go ahead and change it at fantasy.es.
If you're playing to win, then you can go ahead and change it.
Fantasy.eslgaming.com, you can go ahead and change it, which Chad did.
I made some big changes.
Talk to me.
Simple. Out.
Veron?
He's not playing this week.
Okay.
He's not playing this week, so I've added 2 big names. I got rid of Dead Fox as well. That's a pretty easy one.
Sure.
So I've added Elige, because he's playing against Dignitas this week, so he's going to absolutely give him a shellacking. And I've added in Sunny from mousesports, because they're playing 4 matchups this week, so that's a lot of games to be played, and he's a bit of a fragger.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
How do you have Valde? He plays for North.
Well, I saw Valde when I was walking to work. We crossed paths. He was going to the football stadium for tonight's games, legit. And I was coming here, and he was like, "Dude, where are you going?" I'm like, "To work." He's like, "Oh yeah, me too." And then we had a quick chat. He just moved around the corner and stuff, and then I added him.
So
yeah, loyalty.
You see, it's not all about winning.
Loyalty.
He picked his best friend Valde into the team.
I mean, whatever reason.
We're gonna get a coffee tomorrow. We're gonna.
Oh yeah.
We're not. I might go over to his house.
I'd like that. You guys could become buddies, friends, chums.
Yeah.
Creepiness aside, though, you did choose Sunny, and there was a real reason behind that, right? You called him a hard hitter.
Yeah, he's been fragging up a storm lately. I think he's probably one of the more consistent players at the top of the scoreboard, especially on maps like Mirage for mousesports, and that's one that I think we're going to see a lot of this week, Alex. So that's why I went with him. So many matches to be played, so many points to be had.
Yeah, especially versus FaZe. That's going to be a tough task for anyone. And talking of Sunny, you actually get to get a little bit of a closer look at the player. We don't know too much about him, other than he makes happy, or whatever he did indeed drop the meme. Let's go ahead and check in with Sunny, though, and see what he had to say.
It's always sunny on Inferno. But before he sprayed Danes to bits in the ESL Pro League, the Finnish player had to fight his way up to the top-tier CSGO teams. Starting on the Finnish team ENS Esports, he kept playing for Tier 2 teams.
4 kills for him, in fact, and he looks for the ace to close the game. He's gonna get it as well. Sunny all 5.
But it wasn't until he joined Penta Sports that he really made a name for himself.
And he spots that boost. He can't trace the player, though. There's a second one pushing out to his left, but somehow stays alive, gets the second one. Are we going to see this 2 rounds in a row? That nade goes deep, too. He's able to dodge that one, but now catches him in the peak, and Sunny does it again.
Getting picked up by mousesports, he finally got a chance to play with the big guns. And the big guns he brought.
Can he make it 5 though, Glaive? All alone, Sunny with the ace, 5 kills, 5 headshots.
Now it's always sunny at mousesports, where the Finnish top player helps his team steal trophies.
He was very happy. I thought him to actually do a backflip into the pool as mousesports lifted their first trophy. And he's still wearing that shirt with pride. However, how much pride they're going to feel after this next match is for analysts to help us understand.
They're in pretty good stead, I would say,
You
Alex.
reckon?
They're just coming off the win at Star Ladder, right? Like, they had a really good victory there. The final was up against Na'Vi, but they beat a lot of teams. That was the first time we ever had Swiss best of 3. And they were treating the event like a practice event, right? Like, I was talking to LMBT, it's like, we're just going to run with this the whole way through the tournament, especially now we've made it to the semis and the finals, and it worked for them. And the good thing with them online is they don't have the same pressures. You know, to be fair, they haven't actually played on a big stage. The Star Ladder stage wasn't a huge one. When they won ECS, it wasn't a huge stage. The finals at ECS, did I just say ECS twice?
Yeah.
I think so. I meant Mykonos.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. They haven't really played on huge stages right now, so that's a positive thing that they have going into this matchup. And the FaZe clan are probably still a little bit deflated.
In my mind, you know, when you think about this, mousesports have, for the last 6 months, you guys have, every time we've talked about them, your expectations and your belief in mousesports has gone up gradually. I mean, is it still on the way up?
Yeah, I think most definitely they have been improving. You know, in the meantime, they became the world's best team on Mirage, at least in my opinion. And we all know how much that map is being played, the most played map out there alongside Inferno. So I think they've been getting better. The problem is FaZe is their nemesis to an extent. You know, beating them in that ECS final, beating them at the major in the quarterfinal. Surely there's been a series somewhere in there, somewhere else in there as well. But you know, that's the big problem for mousesports. You know, in a best of 3, when it comes to more than just Nuke and Mirage, what else do we have there if it goes all 3 that they can beat tier 1 teams on?
I think matchup-wise, the difference is these guys just came off a victory. They had a bit of downtime. They could, you know, chill. Whereas FaZe had to go from event to event and then had the heartbreak at Katowice, right? Like losing to Fnatic in a final where they were the favorites. They've been very flat. There was a tweet that came out from Guardian basically saying that, look, I haven't played the game since, and I think it was like 2 days ago that he actually started playing deathmatch and stuff like that. So
they took a bit of a hiatus off of the game after that.
Yeah, but I mean, this Katowice game is starting to become the new norm. I mean, the amount of times we've had this conversation about FaZe just consistently getting to grand finals, that's always their goal, is the final, but of course not able to lift the trophy, and you can see how devastated they were after conceding it, especially, you know, Olaf Meister having to fist bump his ex-teammates as they lift the trophy.
Yeah, I think here, like this particular final for FaZe, you can't pinpoint one exact issue, right? I think when you look at the major grand final, you know, the calling on the last map, that was kind of the main issue for that on that Inferno game. But here, the calling for most of the game was pretty much fine. You know, I mean, it's a best of 5 series. There's obviously going to be mistakes and great moments. No one really flopped tremendously individually, but then again, no one stood out across the whole final. Right, it's very difficult, and it's another one of those situations like the Oakland grand final, right, where Rez had a tournament of his life, and then Exist had that final map on Cash. Here it was Flusha obviously having an amazing tournament, an amazing grand final, and an amazing last map, you know, with some ridiculous rounds like that on Train, where there was a 2v5 and he slipped by Olaf Meister and all of that stuff. So it could have easily went the other way. The 2 out of the 3 maps Fnatic won were in overtimes and so forth. So it's very difficult if you're FaZe, because there's no really roster change that you need to make. You have the players. It seems like the atmosphere in the team is, you know, great, but those losses are adding up, and it's similar to the situation that Kerrigan had in Astralis when it came to not passing semifinals. Now it's not passing, you know, the last hurdle and winning those.
There are worse problems to have in a Counter-Strike team, for sure. But when you strive for greatness with a roster like this, it must be so agonizing when you've got all the pieces, everything works up until that stage, grand final.
I think it would have been way easier for them if they lost to SK5 finals. You know, if it was one team, but they lose to teams that they really shouldn't.
It's a strange one, right? And I agree with Yanko on that point of the Astralis one of they had the problems not getting past the semis. Now they can't win the grand finals. How long does it take before that builds up?
And Kerrigan was the one replaced eventually.
Yeah, and the thing with Kerrigan is, like, he actually had some big boy moments in that Katowice tournament. He was the hero in some of the series that they had where he was top fragging. He was making a lot of big calls and big plays that got them into the position where they had to be. And I agree with you, his calling in the final wasn't bad. They just got beaten by a player like Flusha, who is one of the best on the big stages, or at least historically.
But that's a conversation I want to have. Like, sure, FaZe have at times made mistakes on that grand final stage, but can we really start saying that it's a problem for them specifically? And more so, we've just witnessed some crazy Counter-Strike RNG where Rez has a performance of his lifetime on the Oakland stage. Flusha plays like he did 2 years ago over in Katowice.
Here's the common factor in all of these games, especially those two, is FaZe are the favorites, the clear favorites. Like, the standout, they should
be winning this in 3.
Win this. Like, we saw them do it in New York, the absolute blowout, the absolute destruction that they did. And that's what I was expecting in Oakland. That's what I was expecting here in Katowice. That's probably what a lot of people were expecting in the grand final versus Cloud9 in the major. None of these things happened, and they were the favorites. There's no doubt about it. If everyone would have had them down as winning.
It was the target on your back.
Yeah, it was those 2 tournaments, New York and then E-League, right, where they played Astralis. It was a tougher game, and they still edged them out. That's what you expect. If it's a tougher opponent, FaZe is the favorite, and it's going to be a close game, and FaZe should probably end up winning it. If it's an underdog, they should just blow them out of the server, like it happened in New York. But I don't know. It's one of those things where people will call you out if you start saying now But when you look at it, when was the last time Flusha had as good of a tournament like that? It's just like the stars align to an extent against them, but it's up to FaZe being, you know, the team that they are and having the individuals that they have to find the formula to get over those obstacles. Because when you look at it, I'm sure you'll agree, is even with Flusha having, you know, his 2015 form and Krim's playing well and everything, FaZe is still the better team.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if they're playing on that high of a level, FaZe should still be able to beat them. But
I think, if you played that final 10 times, FaZe should win
8.5.
Yeah, like that's how often you'd be expecting them to
But the big, you know, the big factor here is that Fnatic not only beat them in a best of 3, then came into a best of 5 final, odds stacked against them, a map pool that is unquestionably in favor of FaZe, given the fact that we're seeing all 5, and they did it. So I think, you know, that's what made the grand final so special. That's what got this, you know, the audience out of their seats and going absolutely mental. Of course, for FaZe, it's very hard to sit down and break that down
again. And again.
I mean, I think Rain, you know, seeing him crouching by that seat kind of summarizes
I think it goes both ways. You know, Rain was one who had, you know, he was sick for the majority of that tournament. But I think it's, you know, look at it the other way. If FaZe do figure it out, if they do find a way to close out those games, then they will be borderline unstoppable, right? Because, you know, when you have so many close games and those things align, I think if they can crack it down and just it's difficult after losing so many times in such a fashion, but still over the course of this lineup, they've had tremendous results, right? Obviously, they're made to win championships and build an era and have a legacy and win the Inter Grand Slam potentially by now or be one tournament away. But, you know, you should look at the big picture and focus on how you can improve it rather than on, you know, oh, we're a failure.
Yeah,
because I don't think that's the case.
I definitely agree with that. And coming into this matchup here, just having that time off, we saw Guardians do it on the stream before. They all just chilled out, went home, you know, took a deep breath. Coming into this first match back, it's just a chance to run around. And I'm not taking anything away from this because it's still an important matchup, but have a bit of fun with it, right? Like, having another loss here after the grand final isn't going to be the end of the world. They may as well just enjoy it and try and just play to whatever potential they can at the moment, right?
Absolutely.
You're not rebuilding.
I do want to kind of, talking of rebuilding and getting back in, I do want to kind of bring up that tweet you mentioned earlier as our kind of final point here before we do jump in.
Okay.
Just because I want to know opinions. This is what Guardian said. I'll just read it out verbatim here. It says, haven't played CS since Katowice. Time to get back to the reality and start grinding some DM, maybe on stream. There it is. You can see it there on your screens. Hasn't played since Katowice. Now he's starting to go on. Now, I understand players taking breaks. Fnatic did it before they made that run in Katowice. But do you not think that, especially after losing grand final, all you want to do is grind? You know, you want to be getting back into the mindset
I think
fast.
it's probably the best decision they could have made because it's another one of those situations that repeats itself, right? The major, obviously, then you have a failure in Star Ladder, and then you have the grand final meltdown again in Katowice. So just like Rhys said, don't overthink it too much. Like, let everyone have time off of CS, off of each other in a sense, and then come back with a fresh mindset. Because I'm sure there was a lot of bitterness going around, not necessarily, you know,
with each other,
throwing guilt or throwing blame around. It's just like, it just sucks. Like, that sucks so hard. So probably the best thing you can do is just, like, you know, get your mind off of it for a couple of days. Not playing CS for 7 days or 10 days is not the end of the world for these players. They're not going to forget how to play the game. Sometimes you even feel a bit refreshed, you know, and it kind of helps you in the short run.
There's a thing that I think that happens, right, when you take that little break as well, is, like Yanko's saying, it's just this weird feeling. You come back and you feel like you're hitting all your shots anyway. But we have to remember that these guys were on the road. They did the first week of Pro League playing together. Then they all went to Kiev together for 10 days. Then they all went to Poland together for another 7 days.
Then they went, and then they came back home.
Then they were gutted. Then they went home. Then they had a break from each other, you know, kissed their cats and played, well, didn't play Counter-Strike.
We also talked about how, you know, there's no big tournaments until DreamHack. Yes, FaZe are going to attend the Budapest one, but there's not really, you know, tier 1 opposition there, VP, Hellraisers, and so mousesports are going to be there. So that might be that's their probably #1 opponent there. So for them, they have enough time to really, you know, change things if that's what they want to do and theory craft a little bit how they want to take things moving forward.
Absolutely. And moving forward, we shall. They are going to be battling versus mousesports. That's Yanko and Chad. Appreciate you. And just to kind of join the conversation at the tail end, we're talking a little bit about taking a break.
Sure. So I'm of two minds on it. I think it depends on situation. I think it depends on person. I think that if, like, good habits are one thing and you want to stay in form and stay practiced, but bad habits manifest themselves, and sometimes it's best to take a break, let that settle, go back to your foundation, go back to your core.
Yeah.
And at the same time as well, I think with Kerrigan, you know, these guys are a very tactical team. He's going to start to question himself and say, what's going wrong? How do I fix this? Sometimes it's best not to overthink it. Like Yanko said, just sit back, relax, take it as you were, because I mean they're still achieving good results. They just need to push that extra little bit, I suppose.
Well, we'll see what they can do here, Matt. It's going to be FaZe versus mousesports here, kicking things off on Mirage this evening. One of our 3 matchups coming at you tonight is going to be FaZe starting on the CT side and Mouse on the Terrorist Forces. One smoke that would probably be used towards the connector. See them setting themselves up. There's the smoke going in. A lot of teams using that instead of the classic 2 smokes towards the steps and jungle. So we rain to defend. The flashbang will come in. All of Mice to look towards the palace. And we'll see who finds the first frag here. So FaZe is somewhat flailing a little bit. No one hitting shots just yet. Guardian, we know he's taking a bit of a break. Not as crisp as usual with that P2000.
He's gone back to it. He did go to the USP for a while. Chris J with the shot on Rain brings it level, but only for a moment because Olaf goes down. So too does Guardian. Guardian only with 1 kill in the middle of that. Moves us slightly to the good for mousesports as they want to try and put the bomb down inside of the site. Babysitting it to do so. They know there's no one towards CT. They've spotted the last 2, but Chris, he's been slow on this. He's only, what is he doing? He was on the plant, got off of it, and then couldn't get it down because he was in the wrong spot. Chris got 4 kills in the round. Fair play to him, but that bomb should have been planted ages ago, and Kerrigan had a chance to steal the round. Rops thankfully hits the shot.
Well, there we go. A very sloppy round of Counter-Strike being presented there. FaZe with an obvious intention for the retake, but they couldn't actually hit any of the shots, it seemed. And then Chris J not planting the bomb. Certainly wasn't pretty, but they get the job done in the end. It's Rops to finish things off. Chris J with some good shots in the Glock to find the round after a bit of a fumble with the bomb itself, and it will be a forced buy. Of course, from the CT here, FaZe finding 4 kills. We'll get Scouts, Deagles, and CZs. Quite a potent combo, if you ask me. It's going to be Kerrigan pushing towards middle here. Waiting for the Molotov to go down the connector. We'll have a chance, have a shot there. Does actually land it. Takes Sticker down to 38. Nades flying in there all over the map. All of Meister takes one to the face there. He's got the Deagle towards short. He's also got the head armor. 1-0 in the battle of the international lineups here. Look out for Sunny on the mousesports side. He's going to be a very, very strong fragger, especially on Mirage. Oscar as well. He's an absolute beast on this map, and he's certainly contending for that world's best AWPer title, where Guardian possibly resides. That's still up for debate, I think. I don't think there's any clear favour right now. 4-4, Chris J taken down, and we know FaZe are very good with the Deagles. Oscar, though, gets his way in the B-bomb site. He has spotted 1 crossing over. That's going to be Guardian, and he will get his head blown off there.
Stico with the MAC-10. Runs around toward bench instead, still has the bomb in hand. This is the advantage, taken back to FaZe Clan. And had they taken down the bomb, if Stico had been found inside of the site before such time that Rops got in position with the AK, it could have been a problem for them. The round might have slipped away. It still might, Nico. Good headshot, bomb down again. Rops knows he's covered off. Good play to find Rain. Steps out and takes the fight rather than lets them sit back and play to time. That's what Nico plans on doing either way.
Well, here we go. The 1v1. Rops, one of the star players of mousesports, up against one of the world's best, and makes him look amateur. What a fantastic shot that was. The AK-47 comes out on top. 2-0 mousesports, and Nico gets 1 good shot from short, but then couldn't find the second. It looked a little bit dicey for mousesports there, but they negate the force by a FaZe, and that is no easy task. Should be the full eco now, just Nico purchasing a Deagle. He got a few kills, you can see 4, so he's a bit more money than his teammates, so they'll be on full eco. He'll try and find some headshots here, but should be all good. Oscar on just a P250, knowing they're unarmored. He'd be saving off the AWP into the next round, of course, and he normally works to be apartments, and that's exactly what he'll be doing here. Got the HE grenade for the van. I'm sure he'll deploy that in a second. And Sunny just getting some mid-control here. A couple of players with him behind those mid-boxes. There's the nade in the B site. Seems to know exactly where Kerrigan plays, as landed on his head. Oscar can go down. It won't be the end of the world, but he should be able to pick up 1 before that happens. We'll have a look. Kerrigan, there it is. And I'd assume Oscar probably gets taken down here by Olaf. We'll find out, though, momentarily. This is the key interaction right now. His teammate's heading up towards shore. He spotted Olaf. Dispatches him as well, and it will be a 5 versus 1. Rain with just a default USP, and he currently resides in the window room. Finds a Deagle. Won't be able to win the round, but might be able to get a kill. Not even that. Oscar with the P250 gets 3 in total, upgrades to a Deagle, and that will go very nicely with his AWP in the next round, which comes out. Absolutely it does.
It's a Hyper Beast.
It just transformed from a default to a Hyper Beast. Like
That's not bad. That is a Hyper Beast.
It leveled up as he got it in his hands. The power leaving his hands into the weapon. Guardian will have an AWP as well, but no armor, no nades. You can see that's pretty much the story for the whole of FaZe Clan here. No helmets, no incendiaries, 4 smokes. It's not great out there as we head into round number 4. Huge advantage from mousesports. Chris J's MP7, we know it can do work and should be able to do even more so now with just naked heads up against him. 3 AKs as well. Very default round coming in. Going towards the underpass, no real mid control. They're waiting for these players to get through first. Olaf will be in the CPL house, and Rain in a great position to find the first kill, which he certainly will do. Takes down Chris J, and will fall back.
Nico is inching inside of that smoke as it slowly gets to fading. Sunny tries to fire back into it. Gray skies are going to clear up, put on a happy face. Sun's going to poke through.
Rain and sun on the server.
Ooh, that's not bad. That's some smokes in between. We'll call those clouds. What if Rain and Sun were both on cloud 9?
That would be good.
Guardian takes down Oscar. Just need to get like hail,
Yeah.
snow, fog.
I guess the closer we got hazed.
Hazed.
Get him on there.
Yeah, you could. It's like being hit by hail,
Yeah.
or
Hazy day.
abruptly, welcomed in as a rookie on a sports team.
Well, 4 versus 3 now. FaZe with the obvious advantage. Bomb not planted yet. Still within a shot of the round, but Oscar is going to be missing with his AWP. Good shot from Sticker, though. Finds Olaf Meister. They'll look to get that bomb down now, but Ray knows if he can deny that, it will be absolutely everything. Get this 1 kill, and the round will be over, but it's too late. Carrigan, maybe not. Good work from FaZe. Great teamwork coming in. Now, Sunny. I called him out as being one of the key players for mousesports. Can he step up when it really matters? Remember, they have got a kip, but just 1. Nails the first shot and the second. That's beautiful work. Now just has to find Rain. Oh, my goodness. That is absolutely beautiful counter-strike from Sunny. Pixel precision in terms of the headshots. Every single one was just perfect. Well, there we have it. 3 versus 1. And I'm glad I called him out because he has delivered. That was a wallbang from Sticker as well. I didn't even notice that. Great work there on the AWP. Remember, he had no armor or helmet, so obvious as to why he went down. But Sunny, he certainly gets the MVP for that particular round. Lovely stuff. Deagle, CZs, and another eco for FaZe.
Guardian backs to the jungle position as Rain's going to get a close 4-0 mousesports. And they talked about, by the way, V4 Budapest, FaZe can have an easy run. They're not going to have an easy run. Mousesports is there. Mousesports is a team that has beat them in one of those finals.
Sure.
That has been a problem for them. ECS, not ECS.
Wasn't no FaZe won ECS. No,
when did they play FaZe
that.
in the final? No, that's right. It was ECS that came close. I thought they won. Sorry. I was confusing Mykonos win with them playing FaZe.
Yeah.
You're right. FaZe did win, but they still gave them a run.
Exactly. It was a best of 5. They went all the whole distance, and they just about won. There was one of the maps where mousesports should have closed it, but they lost in overtime. They had a massive lead, which is a classic mousesports thing to do, but obviously getting better at that, winning over Starladder in Kiev. So getting some tournament victories and finals under their belt for sure. Certainly a team that's solidified their position in the top 5, I would say. As we get into round number 5 here, first kill for mousesports, looking for that 5-0. Thanks to Sunny's beautiful 1 versus 3. Oscar starting to warm up now as well. Nice shot towards the B apartments. Guardian still resides on the B bomb site itself. Looking to cause a dent here. They have read it well. They have rotated everyone over towards the B site. Rain will be a little late, but Guardian should be able to get at least 1 kill here. The CZ ringing true. 1 kill picked up, but not a second. That will be the round. And indeed, it will be closed. Sunny with 2 more headshots there. He manages to get a bucket load of kills in 2 rounds. And the MP7 comes out once again. You can see it does make sense because he knows the money's weak for FaZe. 4 players without helmets again, but they have got the double AWP set at this time. Chris J trying to be a little bit more frugal with his purchases here.
So Sunny to throw a smoke grenade toward the window. Additionally, they've thrown one toward jungle, and Olaf doesn't really care where the smokes land. He goes forward with the AWP. He'll take down Sunny and back away immediately.
Good shots, Olaf Meister. One of the many AWPers within the FaZe units.
That's going to be frustrating as well, because look how good those smokes are.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that, just as a note, when you have an I'll come back to that, because Guardian's got a perfect angle, and two targets to fire at does get wrecked by Rops.
Yeah, he's hitting everything tonight. Him and Sunny are going to be a problem.
If you're watching, just remember that smoke you saw in Catwalk. I'm going to bring up a point about that in a minute, as Rops does take out Rain as well walking in. Now Nico knows he's next in line. He'll find Oscar instead. He's not protected by his teammate back in the wing, so it's
Tetris for Rops that can't quite see the angle in return. He's still watching out for middle as Olaf will take over duties, cutting off a main. It is just Rops. 2 kills, needs an ace, needs 3 more. Makes that seemingly easy. They thought he was still toward Tetris, so misread by Olaf. He's trying to bait out Nico, and he certainly does. Nico nails the shot. 5-1. FaZe finally get around. There's a smoke. I know it's perfect because it cuts off from wall to wall on Catwalk. But if an Opper's there, they're going to push that and fall to the corner. The problem is the smoke lands flush with the corner, so they still have coverage and can still see through it. I think you actually want to throw that more shallow so that it blooms outward past the wall and more onto the Catwalk itself. It may leave a gap for the player behind it to see toward connector, but it doesn't matter. That's not the intention of it at that point. It's the intention to cover off middle. So basically that smoke's too deep and it gives the Opper a chance to peek.
Well, Olaf certainly managed to capitalize in the previous round. Will he find similar success here? He actually gives up the AWP and will be down to the AK-47 here. So, Sunny making his way for the underpass. Remember, a huge reset potential here. Guardian, once again, no armor. Money is a massive issue for FaZe right now. Can't afford to give this round up. It'll be a definite double eco, maybe an early finish here on Mirage if they are unable to convert this into consecutive rounds. Mid-split coming in here, boosting up towards short, looking out for players pushing towards it. And Sunny spots one, waiting for his opportunity. Will there be a chance to take down Olaf? Remember, no AWP for him this time, the AK. Sunny's being patient and won't be rewarded for that just yet. Smokes the connector now, and we'll try and get control of that area. Good system from mousesports. You can see everything's covered. They've got presence towards short, waiting for the pick to come in. When it doesn't, smoke down and connector, clear that area out before they commit to connector. Another smoke towards short, just to make sure they get perfect map control. Oscar set in position to watch the ticket booth. We know that's a prevalent position for Guardian. And they've got great control to work with here, but not a lot of time. 30 seconds. Carrigan still with the incendiary. That's key. If he can throw at the right point, that could win the round with a single grenade. We'll see if that works out for him. He's been very smart saving that particular piece of utility. Guardian, though, goes down again. Oscar finds the headshot. Maybe this incendiary won't be enough, man. I'm not sure. 18 seconds. They might just push through, and he gets absolutely wrecked. Chris J pushes in. Clinical stuff from mousesports. You can see the timing works out perfectly. Lovely round. That's just like great Counter-Strike played there by mousesports. Everything was covered. Nice teamwork, good timings, and good trades. Didn't even give up a kill. Barely any damage. FaZe are going to struggle now. Nico will save the AWP and Rain will have the M4, so not out of it next round. They'll certainly still force. But desperate times at this point. But luckily with the AWP save, players like Nico, Guardian can carry around single-handedly, so we'll have to watch out for that. If it's smart, though, I would even take a pause as mousesports right now. Just discuss the options. They've saved an AWP right now. What does Guardian normally do when he saves the AWP? He has to take the round into his own hands. What are his tendencies? You've got 4 pauses. Sure, you have a great lead right now. I'd like to discuss that with the coaches, work out what do we think he's going to be doing? What's his ideal play here? Where does he get most of his frags? So we'll see if that happens. I doubt it. That would just be a cool idea, I think. We'll have a look, though. Will they force into round number 8 here? That's FaZe we're looking at. 2 weapons. No one taking a pause, it seems. And they will indeed force. Carrigan goes in first. Difficult round for them, though. So what's the final buy? Scouts, CZs, 1M4 and a UMP, and of course that's saved AWP. Garner will be given that, and he'll try and open things up towards middle. Doesn't do anything too flashy to try and find the first pick here, hoping a mistake is made and he can capitalize on it. So there is a bit of a gap in that smoke, so not a huge deal. You normally jump past that corner anyway, but it gives them a bit of intel at least. Oh, they're pushing the B apartments from what I saw as well. Carrigan going to be baited in, so he waits in the corner there. Olaf presumably will get on the van and, yes, indeed, try and bait him in. Just to fire off a shot, maybe do some damage, just to take all the aggro away from Carrigan. Hopefully, they don't check that corner. That's the entire setup there. Very slow, methodical stuff from mousesports again. Same smokes utilizing a booster player up. It will be Sunny to go in towards the window. Oh, goodness, Guardian. Feeling very brave with the close range AWP at this point. There's the potential for a player to be here. He wants to find him. It's going to be a very challenging shot.
Try to get it, but with Sunny, oh, that's... I thought Sunny might try and swing on that, hearing the noise. Maybe catch him in the corner. I don't think he was sure of exactly what Guardian was doing. It could have been a bait. That's certainly bait. Oscar gets the kill in return. Olaf, good shot on the scout. Will take down poor old Chris J. Sunny and Sticko. Making up for it, and mousesports should be able to control the situation at 6-1 to go 7-1 T-side of Mirage.
Not done just yet. Guardian still has the AWP, and they have not planted. But Sunny knows exactly where Rain is. He can Molotov him out of position. Now Guardian in a lot of trouble. He probably has to hit this shot. Can't do it. That's the AWP down. We know he's taking a break. Hasn't looked great so far. 3-on-1. Rain will at least give it a go by the looks of things here, but won't be sticking around for too long, as it will be 7-1 full eco for FaZe. They get 1900 now and 2400 into the next round. So they can't afford to even buy P250s here. They have to take a full eco just to get rifles up. Rain can maybe drop an AWP, but he would have no armor if he did that. This is a nightmare for FaZe. Everything that could have gone wrong so far has done for them. They are not looking great. Remember, the whole team has taken an extended period of time off the game. I don't think mousesports would have done the same. They weren't at Katowice after winning Star Ladder. Take from that what you will in terms of the landscape of CSGO right now. Guardian P2000. Good position. The timing's going to work out okay for a kill at least. There it is, absolutely. And that's probably all they'll get, but still, 1 kill and a full eco against full AKs isn't too bad. Maybe even a second here. Olaf should have got that kill. There it is. Carrigan to finish things off. 3-on-2. They won't be able to upgrade any weaponry, and another headshot comes in. Necessarily looking like quite a beneficial round. Olaf won't win this, but 3 kills going against mousesports. Unfortunately, they're so stacked right now in terms of their finances. It's not going to be too impactful, but still a boost of confidence a little bit. And FaZe finding a little bit of cash. You know, $300 per kill and taking some money out of the hands of mousesports. But he will save the AWP and the AK. Money's absolutely fine for them. They're not necessarily set for the entire half, but at least the majority of it. That's if they lost every single round from now on. There's Sticko with some nice shots there towards Shadow, and indeed the bomb site itself. Good work. 8-1, and here's the buy. Like I said, no orbs available now. Still players with our helmets. Christian not trying the MP7 this round. Didn't really find much success with it at all. Olaf Meister, same smoke towards short, just to block them off and stop any fast pushes towards that area. Allows them to look towards Delpan as well. Carrigan, known as the weaker player on the team. You'll see a lot of teams do this, Matt, up against him. Just go towards B. When they know the money's low, he doesn't have an AWP, and it's unlikely he'll get more than 1 kill, so why not do that? Easy kill for Oscar. This is looking brutal.
Yeah, this is really not... The caveat of online CS is one thing. This is just FaZe looking lost. I mean, maybe it is true. Yeah, okay, they took some time off. They didn't play since Katowice, or at least certain players did not, but even still, you don't forget everything.
Yeah, it just seems like they've lost that flair. You know, there's no high fragging moments here.
You gotta wonder. I mean, losing in games like that. That's kind of what I was saying about taking time off. Sometimes it's better than trying to, take a hammer and chisel and fix out problems. That's just going to make everyone on edge, and you start blaming problems. But at the same time, it's possible that one of the player, maybe 1 or 2, let's say, for example, Olaf or Nico, just say, man, oh man, I'm done. I'm losing the motivation.
In that time off, if I'm Carrigan, I'll be working on Raban. I'm working out the demos, working on what's gone wrong.
Exactly.
Preparing the dossier, what you need to prepare to your players, and hope that they're still playing like Rank S and all those online stuff. And
that I agree with. But yeah. I think if you start reviewing the demos too much and you start trying to change too much all at once, it's gonna take a dip in form almost, because you got to get used to everything. I think it's very subtle changes is the key.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Nothing drastic. You just need to know what was the reason we didn't win that grand final. That was a lock-in for us. That was a team
And you can't isolate on that, by the way. You can't say, oh, well, if he had hit this shot. That doesn't help anyone. So just for people at home who think like, oh, well, it was simple. They could have hit this. You have to look at tactics, how to make that easier. How could he make that shot easier rather than just simply aim, right? Or how could he put himself in a better situation in a specific matchup on connector, let's say?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what kind of jewels were unfavorable? Which percentage chance did we give ourselves of winning this specific situation? Stuff like that. I feel like this is a winnable round for FaZe, believe it or not. Let's see what happens. There will be Carrigan going down, maybe not. I thought Guardian would do a bit more with that position, but absolutely nothing at all. 10-1. Money's still going to be troublesome for them, but about 5k per player. They at least can get the AWP out now, and hopefully look to get that 10-5, because they certainly need it here. You see Guardian, no nades whatsoever. That's what I'm alluding to with the cash. Nico, he's okay. It's a bit stronger than I thought it would be, but a couple of kits there, and they have another chance to get back in this game at double digits. What a fast half this has been so far. Rops getting ready with the smoke, decides not to throw it. Nothing thrown at the very start of this round. mousesports going against the grain in terms of standard setups, in terms of defaults. Olaf Meister towards short. Same smoke thrown once again. Gets himself in towards CPL. And it's up to Carrigan now to try and hold that B bomb site. No one really stepping up on FaZe whatsoever. 1 round total. 4 kills for Rain. 4 for Carrigan. Guardian 5. Nico the top of 7. Not ideal, but still early days, believe it or not. They can still come back and 10-5 this and win the game. That is not a problem for a team like FaZe. Or they could just lose 16-1. That's also an option. I'm not a mind reader. I can't predict the future. I know some of you think I can, but it's just not true. So A split looking likely here. 3 towards the A ramp. Bomb on Chris J's back. That'll lead to some smokes, that mid pillar there. As you can see, their lineup looks a little bit weird, but they just find the exact points on the map they need to be standing to throw their grenades. And now they'll also line up with the marks on the walls. Here come the smokes. This will not be a fake. This will be an all-in commitment. Smokes towards the steps, deep on the steps. I like that. That's really cool. Olaf Meister will get 1 kill, but quickly replied. 4-on-4 definitely favors mousesports. Guardian playing in front of the smokes. Can he get anything done here?
Oscar working up, gonna try and swing in, and bye-bye, Nico. That's pretty damn impressive.
That's the balls on this guy. Just run up there and try the nose cover against Nico.
He does. I mean, yeah, he certainly is a confident person.
Yeah.
And he's so stoic in his attitude, but you can kind of see this subtle coyness in his grin when he does something like that. It's kind of interesting. Nico wouldn't have expected it. He does miss a shot on Rain, though. That gives them a chance back into the round as well, because both players do have kits. They've got a smoke. They've got an incendiary as well that they could easily deploy toward. There you go. Okay, so excuse me, they had 2 because that was one already thrown. Rain still had another to work with. He's put that toward Palace now. That the HUD didn't update. I'm confused. I thought it was just 1, so I think that is the one toward Palace. I thought they picked up 1 in the meantime. Either way, Rain's going to swing out, find Mouse. He knows that Chris is likely in the same position. Kit, smoke. Oh, but 13 HP. Chris just barely picks him apart.
Well, there we go. Another round for mousesports. They're looking clinical right now, not making many mistakes whatsoever. Chris J with his 8th frag, and one an important one it was. Forced buy from FaZe. Things getting a bit desperate now. Maximum loss bonus in Counter-Strike is $3,400. And on T side, that's maybe enough to scrape together Galil's, a couple of AKs perhaps, but on the CT side, it doesn't leave you much at all. They've got 3 rifles, 2 UMPs, barely any utility, no defuse kits, and who's going to step up here? Olaf Meister feels like he has to. He'll go towards middle alone, though. Sunny presumably just wrecks him here. Of course he does. Everyone at mousesports looks hot tonight. And no one's really missing shots, and FaZe look very average. None of the big names really finding much at all here. They've lost the first pick. It's an early 5-on-4, and Sunny, he wants a bit more. He'll be pushing towards the connector right now. There's a kill from Guardy. He pushed the A ramp. Someone had to step up. Finally silences the beast that is Robs, and here we go. Carrigan will get 1 more. We're still a 3-on-3. Rain with the low rate, late rotate has to come in towards short. Gets 1. Can he find a double? He cannot, but he does do considerable damage. Gives his teammate at least a chance here as Nico rotates quickly from short. He's almost guaranteed to get 1 kill here. Maybe not. Sticko low HP though. I feel like this is the FaZe round. Yeah, he's in front of the Molotov. Sicko won't be aware. He's dead.
Good find from Nico. That's a huge miss from Chris.
Yeah.
Firing behind him. His accuracy was perfect. It was just an inch behind the whole time. So it was really awful. At the same time, Guardian's going to find a kill. We go 11-2. Finally, another round for FaZe. 2 players staying alive only.
Yep. More implications ever. They do find the AWP. They need to win this next round again. Otherwise, this will be a 13-2 half. They'll have no money for the final round. Has to be converted here. Like we said, money for days on the mousesports side. What a quick half this has been. Good CS played though, believe it or not. You might think like it's just FaZe being awful. It's not really that. mousesports is playing a really solid game and hitting all their shots. You can see the scoreboard pretty equally distributed. 15 kills for Oscar, 13 for Sunny. Sticko having a good game as well. That always bodes well for a team like mousesports, having the support player posting numbers. So round number 14. Very indicative as to whether FaZe can get back into this. Bomb down, and all 5 players towards the A side of the map for mousesports. Mid control from the CTs, and Oscar trying to use Rops on the end of his fishing rod here. He can jump across, and as he peeks towards the jungle area, we'll see if that's the play. Maybe Rops just runs out. Time will tell. Chris J has made his way through towards Tetris, and Rain has no idea. He's gone down to 2 HP. He's now dead. A lot of work to be done now by FaZe. Can they get back into this round? Guardian can't hit anything right now, Matt. He's going down every single time to Oscar.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting wrecked time and time again.
And the thing is, Oscar's on hot form right now. He's probably been playing a lot. And Guardian, questionable. Like, he's had peaks and troughs at events. He'll start events very slowly. Then in Katowice, he came really to life in the playoff. He looked really good. With the break, I can't imagine he'll be fighting fit form, but 3 players to survive. They'll just have to save this one, allow it to go 12-2. mousesports are looking to close this one out early, and they can afford to go hunting here. Oscar gets 1 kill, that completely destroys them. They can't even challenge an exit frag here.
Nico. Doing whatever he can. Oh, it's not even missed the shots, and that's going to actually make it awkward for him. Good read that Sticko was running him down in the window, so just barely turned around to react in time based on the sound cues. Makes us now 12-2 for mousesports. Round 15. Buy what you like, lads. You don't have a lot of money to work with.
Do what we can, boys. UMPs, I think they still have the AWP somewhere. Guardian will pick that up. He's got 7 kills on a map like Mirage. This is his stomping ground. It's one of the best of maps for FaZe. It's where they do the most historic work. But right now it's looking very, very quiet in terms of the fragging. Olof will be in the underpass alone with the UMP. Sun at the times. He goes on this corner, he's dead and he knows it. Sunny, even with this off angle from Olof, I think he still gets the kill, just considering the weaponry. Yeah, absolutely. He's looking unbelievably good right now. I just want to talk when we have some time as well. Do you see Alu, who's been signed full-time to Ents again?
I did, and I knew that was happening, actually. I talked to not to ahead of time.
But now they can't get Sunny, obviously, so where do they really go with that line?
Well, so that's the interesting thing, is that Sunny's the one player missing from it, but they actually do have, like, they have X7 now, they've
Zen.
got,
Zen back.
They've got Zen back.
Yeah.
Zen was okay, but they've also got Sergey, which is a super up-and-coming talent, another player that came through the FPL ranks that everyone thought was cheating. There's been a lot talked about him. Hold on just 1 second, because Kerrigan going to get run down at B with the UMP. Does manage to get one quick shot, but quickly overrun by none other than Sunny. Yeah, it's... Oh, okay, Nico. Bomb dropped.
The chance. Oh, maybe not for long. Rain and Guardian now up against the Guardian, missing yet another shot there. He does hit the second. 2-on-2. Rain in a good position as well. Robs will rotate in. 35 seconds here. The Molotov towards short, and there's the kill from Rain. That should be the round secure here, but Oscar is an absolute monster in these positions. Can't do it. 12-3. There's still hope for FaZe here. And yes, we'll just talk about that quickly. The reason we talk about it was Sunny was one of the more prevalent players for Ents, and he was, that's where he kind of had his kind of breakout performances. We cast him a few times. We realized this guy's got talent. Believe it or not, he used to play in one of my teams back in the day. I sent him to a few lands in the UK. Somehow that was the thing in 2014, I think. Yeah, his journey's been incredible. His rise to notoriety has been very fun to follow. Started off with the Krakow Major when he was playing for Penta. Didn't really turn many heads there in terms of the team, but he certainly showcased his talents. Now finds himself as one of the absolute best players on an international squad in the top 5, winning events and getting to grand finals. So it's just interesting to note that Alu has gone from this very team FaZe, and now he's kind of dropped off into
totally.
right?
Exactly, and it's very unfortunate. Kiyoshima did the same thing. Both of those players looked strong talents on the FaZe lineup. They obviously had, I think, what was it, 6 finals with those guys as well. So, yeah, no, they were on the right track. But then, obviously, how can you not sign Olaf and Guardian? Point to the Ents organization. They've gone for bringing in a young talent, taking a chance on Sergey. They've got Alu alongside to really sort of lead the charge, if you will, in terms of experience. And I think that this time, because iGame had some contracts in place that they couldn't get some players they wanted last time, this time they've actually got more of a core unit that they wanted, with the exception of Sunny. Sunny's the one player that's kind of evaded them with the mousesports deal. I don't expect them to be world beaters. I expect them to be better than the last Ents lineup, but yeah, you know, top 15 maybe. On depending on how frequent. Remember, the problem is outside of the top 15, it's based on frequency, right? That everyone on the top 20 changes so much based on who's played recently and who hasn't.
All I can comment on is when we watched that team at Assembly last year with Alu and Sunny, firepower there and some younger players, and they did absolutely nothing. So I'm not excited for it yet, but I wish them best of luck. I hope it does work out, and we'll see how that goes for them. If we ever see Alu at a big event again, that'd be great. Either way, we'll get into the next round. It's going to be the pistol here, the second half, and Mouse win this, you can probably call this game done. Rops will open things up. Good shot to take down Rain. Still a lot of play to be done, though, in this particular round. Carrigan waits in the apartments here. This will be a fast approach, and they haven't checked Shadow Map. Why are they not checking this position? Hello?
Yeah, Oscar's just waiting. Just waiting. Just waiting. Bomb's planted. Just wait. Go ahead and leave the site. I'll go in and defuse it. Gets the first kill, turns around, hits a dink, looks for the third. He could have actually possibly, I think, gotten 2 kills when they were close together, but I think he kind of overthought the situation and thought, maybe I can slip in late. And it does come away from 1 shot of being the round back in favor of mousesports 12-4. We know what 12-3 normally means, Hank.
Yeah, this is going the full distance now, unfortunately, for everyone. But there we go. It will be round number 2 coming in. And FaZe is definitely back in the game now. A very tenacious team. They can have shocking halves like that and bounce back. And mousesports will be forced by into the second round. Here are the odds for you. You might want to consider that right now, considering what just happened. Trust me, mousesports are a team that can throw games like this away. They've done it many times before. Back at the Boston Major, they were 12-3 up against QB Fire on Train. Swapped over half and lost the game 16-14, so go figure. Now they're against FaZe. So maybe something to consider there. Either way, we'll get into just Deagle's PT50s here. And a chance, though, as always, with these pistols. No CZ, surprise, surprise. Deagle's with a lot more range than the CZ, and obviously that one-tap potential is a lot of fun. Chris J got a deadly Deagle, so is Sunny. Even Oscar has, to be fair. 1 minute remaining, and it looks like an A approach here. And will just be Olaf Meister to make his way in towards B, but he goes down quickly. Same story for Rain. What is happening here? Where is the synergy? They can still recover this round, but it's going to be hard. 5-on-3 now as FaZe desperately try to make their way towards the A side.
Certainly will. Chris trying to do what he can with the Deagle. Picked apart down to 15. That's going to lock him in the corner. I don't think that Molotov's going to spread because it was thrown at a different trajectory and heads toward vent and doorway to window room, if you will. Rops, however, slides out, takes 1 immediately. I thought maybe he was going to do massive damage on a Guardian and make it possible as he's already on 44. To be taken down by his teammates. He now has the AK staring with just his head showing toward the stairs. Just his head is more than enough for Sunny. What a running gun shot. And it's Oscar to take him down. Round pulled back, mousesports on 13.
How have they done that? And FaZe just give it all up. No trade potential, Matt. 1 by 1, taken down by PT50s. I can see what they're trying to do. Send Olaf in towards B. Find a pick. Maybe he goes down, causes a full B stack there. He goes in. There's only 2 players there with PT50s. He gets nothing. His teammate's forced to go in towards A, lose another pick, and it all just snowballs out of control. It was looking like it was recovered for a brief moment there, but Carrigan left in a 2 versus 1. UMP in towards Sandwich. Had to reload. Not really much he could do, and they'll have to force by in response. 13-4. This is pretty much game right here. FaZe can't pull this one together. I feel like mousesports have done enough. It'll be 14-4 with money broken. But like we said, you can never count FaZe out of any particular round. 2 AKs, maybe more than enough to win. As we head into round number 3, Oscar got the AWP though. Didn't spot the players crossing over towards Delpan. It'll be Olaf Meister and Sticko to go at it in the B-bomb site. Smoke deployed. Looks like he might fade off this.
Olaf with the Eagle in hand. There you go. Slides up. It's going to work back toward the site where Rain's already holding with the AK-47 bomb. Now knows it's going to go back over toward A, and this round falls apart from mousesports. So we go back and forth again, as they're going to trade 1-1-1 down to just Sticko, and I imagine he's going to want to save the kit and the armor, even though it's just an MP9. They've let this one slip well out of their grasp. Another AK picked up for Kerrigan as well. So just when we thought the momentum was back, it's gone again.
It is, and it's Rain to step up with the AK and completely shut down their hopes and dreams of closing this one out early. This one keeps swinging back and forth, and there's a Sticko to save an MP9 here. Like I said, the AKs in the hand of FaZe are certainly enough to win rounds, and it's Nico and Rain to show us how it's done that. Nico picking up the AWP. Round guaranteed now as the bomb will be going off shortly. Sticko just trying to find some extra kills, so they have got enough to really kind of bring out a few bits and pieces. You can see Robs will have around $3,500. Same story for Chris J. There's no need though to buy here, I would say. Like, you've got this huge lead, let's just close it out in the gun rounds. Let's not start this war of attrition. As Rain found easy kills there, good recovery. Lovely shots there towards the bomb site itself. I don't think the force here is required. I would say take the eco, boys. Let's not be silly. And that's what they're going to do. Good stuff from mousesports. I like that. 13-5. FaZe can breathe easy this round as they go towards A, fully executing. No one going to be there waiting for them, just Robs with a Deagle, that is it. The rest of the team are stacking the B-bomb site. Smokes in, full commitment, bombs there, no fakes, no tomfoolery. Will be a very clean win for FaZe here, no challenge. Robs can really do much of this. The smoke towards CT spawn. Molotovs all over the site. Bit of a miss molly. Maybe it's not, that's actually just stopped the players pushing through from the smoke and using the bench actually, so that's fine. Took me a second to work that one out. There's the bomb and the round guaranteed.
Good shot from Kerrigan. Rain's gonna fire back to take out Sonny. Kerrigan still looking for an angle as Rain doing the same. They've got either side of the box covered based on playing the walls respectively at Tetris. Rain's got Rops. Good find back from Sticko, but unfortunately 5 HP, 2 to find bomb ticking, and it's on the other side of the box, where in which he'll have to face them both. Not much he can do.
All things considered, not bad work there from Mouse. The P9 and just default weaponry does yield 3 kills for them. Maybe a bit more if Sticko can get that last one, but will they take another eco? It looks like they will. So FaZe get another chance to post up around the board. 13-6 now, likely to be 13-7. First game of this evening. Got some big ones for you today. We've got another map with these two guys, and then after that it will be North versus Heroic, and then Astralis versus G2 to close out the day. These are some very fun games coming out. We've got the Danish Derby in the middle, and then of course the New Look G2. Everyone's keen to see what Mixwell is going to bring to the lineup. I can't believe that's a thing. Never in a million years did I think Mixwell would be signed.
Great fundamental player, but yeah, interesting that, you know, obviously it's not an obvious. Okay, let me pose it this way, Henry. If he was a French player, would you think that he's capable of G2?
Honestly, no.
Okay, fair enough. I would say he'd be close. I think he's easily on Body's level.
I feel like he seems so up and down for me. When on a really good day, sure. But I feel like he seems like he just has such dramatic lows in lineups that I'm not that infused by his signing. Obviously, it's a temporary thing, I'd imagine.
Sure.
But it makes sense in that respect for you. I'm not thinking this is what's going to resurrect that team. But either way.
Yeah, I don't know that it resurrects, but I think that he's certainly capable. And I think it's nice they're trying something very different, but yeah, we'll see. Boost up. Sticko. Ooh, got a shot off. I didn't even think he would. Somehow Rain just nails Oscar, runs out into it. Fair enough.
Good awareness.
Good spray. I was more, not so much the awareness, because obviously there's a player boosting him, but more so that he got the spray accurately transitioned over in that direction. It looked very sloppy, but he nails it. And the round as well to FaZe.
Ooh, maybe a kill there for Rops. Not quite, gets the dink in. But the gun rounds begin next. That's when Oscar becomes an absolute terrifying prospect for the FaZe clan. He is very mobile at the AWP and hits pretty much every flick shot imaginable. And he'll be getting some ones through the smokes as well, so watch out for that. His AWP surely comes out here. Rops will drop it for him. There we go. 13-7. FaZe getting back in this game now. Is it enough? Time will tell. And here we go. Oscar looking for anything he can in that smoke, and he'll sneak through. And Guardian seems to have found some confidence bouncing through there. Doesn't quite nail Sticko. Fully country down there. Well, lock horns in the B apartments. Nothing found so far in terms of damage. Chris J as well AWPing. Didn't note that. One of the most deadly double AWP setups in CSGO right now, believe it or not. Chris J probably not up there in the conversation for best AWPers right now, but in terms of what he brings to this double AWP setup, it's fantastic. It's really good. A great partnership. Sunny spots one, I think, and Rain will punish him for it. Sees the smoke come in and instantly peeks him, and great shots from FaZe. 3 of them coming in thick and fast, but Rob's still alive and kicking. He'll take one down, gets a dink on another, and Nico fails the duel there. All of a sudden, it's a 2-on-2. I thought he had that shot locked in. Bomb and T spawn, so even the Kerrigan's position, they can't really do too much of it just yet. 45 seconds, and they're anticipating a B play this CT. You can see Robs and Oscar both. I guess they're in transition between both sides. They can go wherever. But Oscar now has to have his wits about him. Kerrigan perfectly set up to take him down, but not fast enough. That's what I'm talking about with this guy. He manages to find the close range shot, and all of Mice are left in a horrible position here, but maybe he will rise to the occasion. What a beautiful spray. Takes 2 of them down, wins the round, and FaZe are right back in this. This is not done by any stretch of the imagination. Great spray control, and timing is a little bit off there with the trade. If mousesports had stuck together a little tighter, they probably would have got the kill. Maybe you want the M4 to FaZe first instead of the AWP, but there you go. There will be another eco for mousesports. Round number 7 coming in. FaZe have a chance to get double digits here. Looking for 9 first. This one should be locked in as Olofmeister delivers a present to Oscar in the underpass. 5 and 4. They do get a partial by going with Deagles and armor itself, but not much else.
Guardian can't quite hit. Olaf's going to back away. Rain to do the same. For now, but back over toward A main they'll go. Palace complementing that approach. You're right, we're going the distance. T-sided game, and FaZe upping the ante. Normally a map with Guardian and Nico that you'd expect them to be very good on. They've certainly struggled in their CT sides as late on it, and they're showing us again now that they've got a T-side still up their sleeve. As Rain walks in, Nico hits the shot instead. Rain will take over the stairwell. They know they're both in that direction. Stico, good hold. Found Kerrigan, and Rain goes back out toward middle. He's going to just sit back, concede the plant, and they can take this retake. It's tough. I mean, they've got no kits. One's on a Deagle.
Might as well save the AK if I'm honest.
Yeah, I was going to say they can take. I guess what I was saying is they can make it a chance, but when you look at it with the bomb down,
like the fact you obviously can't buy that AK on the CT side, take that and run. You've already got armor. You've got another AK now. You're not going to win this round, boys. It's full back. Sure, they got money for the next round, but this is setting themselves up for the future. They have not got kits. I don't know what they're doing with this one. This is a bad call. They should just be saving the weapons. They'll get a couple of kills, sure, but it's not going to equate to a round victory. So 1 AK given up. They will save 1. That's fine. Olofmeister seems to be the absolute MVP for FaZe so far. Great shots, good clutches, and 3 kills in that particular round. 39. Gap closes. Nevermore. So will it be double orbs again? I assume so. That's their best possible stance in this particular map. Chris J and Oscar with the AWPs. It's 21 kills for Oscar, just to note. Certainly at the very top. Oh no, Sunny, I beg your pardon. He's at 22. There we go. Chris J misses the jump there, difficult one. Especially when flashbangs are flying in. Maybe that's why you throw the flash, just to stop his jump there completely. That's quite clever, that is the case.
Well, that would be clever. Be a smart way of doing it.
Yeah, time the flashbang so he can never get up there.
Shot out, can't land. Oscar's trying. Stico underneath of the balcony. I don't know that he's aware one player's already gotten down or not.
Oh, wow.
I thought he would have heard it. Now he's in trouble though. Flashed off. Still Stico gets the kill. Not sure how he manages that, but gets away. Spots the shadow. No, he does not.
Wow.
He's fully blinded, and Rain's able to get the kill, but Chris walking back out takes down both Rain and Olaf. And Baum is still behind, or thereabout behind the van. I think it's just on the other side. Chris, either way, good round from him. 4 kills in total.
After a lot of misses from Oscar as well, Chris J to step up. Hasn't posted many frags in this game so far. Great work in the B-bomb side. 4 in total. Completely destroys them and shows Oscar how to get it done. That was an amazing shot towards the van as well. None of them were bad, to be honest. Very fast. Very flashy. 49 in touching distance now, closing this game out. There will be a match pause, I assume, from the FaZe clan. Indeed it will be. They've got themselves back in this match, but still they could all fall apart very quickly indeed. So we'll take this time, 30 seconds, just to discuss what tactic they'd like to deploy here. As I said, 12-3. It's never going to be an easy game for mousesports. Always going to be sweating. They never seem to have these landslide victories in big games. Always in overtime, it feels like. Either way, towards the A side, full A execution from FaZe, and there's 2 players there from mousesports will be Sunny and indeed Rops. Already in waiting, dropping the incendiary at the start, trying to smoke out their opposition. They're well read so far. Can they find the first kill though? Definitely not. Sunny in a horrible position there completely sold out by Rops, and he'll be running away as well. They might even consider a save here. They've lost the A site. They'll be reset if they lose this round. I would say definitely consider the save. One by one they'll go in.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. At this point as well, it's going to be another reset. Sticko trying to find his way back through the smoke. Can't do it, so at least they call the save at this point in time. Double up setup is still formidable for them. We know how good it is. Ooh, be careful, my boys. Olaf now knows they're going to be. He's going to slip through the underpass. That's actually a potential problem because he's going to get very close to where Chris resides. Now, did Chris get far enough away? And I think he's looking at it, so good read from Chris. Good anticipation. Should be able to spot Olaf, who's going to try and slide out. Go for the quick shot. Oh, he's unscoped, but he'll stay alive, surely. All is well. 3 aside on either side. 3 alive on either side, I should say, Hank.
Well, there we go. mousesports at least will have enough to make this round competitive, but still not ideal with the resets. Lose this one, I'd say they could potentially still lose the game. We'll have a look as we find double digits for FaZe. They are fully equipped. It's not too bad for Mouse. You can see there are some compromises. No helmets on some players, like utility players like Rops. Only 1 defuse kit, but still a full buy. They execute again. Smart stuff from FaZe. I like this. Worked perfectly before. Drop it in again. You know the money's still weak. Double AWP setup. It's the best way to shut it down. Remove them from the equation. As the incendiaries get dropped again. That was all a fake, I think, just to bait out. Yeah, it was. They just dropped those 2 smokes at the start to bait out the incendiaries of Rops and Sunny. And then the full execute comes now. The same smokes we deployed will probably be one in CT spawn as well. There's one in CT spawn. The steps and the jungle will be re-smoked. There we go, actually in the connector now. This is actually really clever. Miss smoke and CT spawn though. That's a massive issue. Horribly thrown. Means if they want to plant in the open towards the side, that won't happen. But they've planted on the outside. Perfectly executed strategy. And so far, so good. Might have a flow of the save again, if I'm honest. We'll have a look as to initial frags and where they come. But this looks like a FaZe round all day long.
Guardian trying again to hold them off, so mousesports struggling to find these last 2 rounds, just as they won off the eco or the force buy in round 2. I thought maybe they'd make it easy work of it, but they're certainly giving themselves a hard time. They're getting closer to it. They're on it inside of the smoke. I'm not sure that Oscar, they know he's there. Rops just has to kill them off, and he's done it. He's found 2. Guardian never knew, and it is the round of mousesports.
What a chaotic finish to the round there. Back and forth it went. FaZe the bomb down cleanly. The retake begins. Smokes are everywhere. Frags are happening. Oscar's hitting the close range shots. He gets 2, goes to the full defuse in the smoke, and Rops will be there to cover him valiantly. Match point for mousesports. Wasn't the cleanest of wins, but they all count, and there's mousesports. Sticko on the MP9 here, looking to close the game out right now. They cannot be reset here. They know there'll be a definite chance of overtime if they give this round up. Chris J, AWP once again. Carrigan underpass with the UMP. FaZe can pull this round off. Double eco for mousesports.
Oscar does what he can. Chris nearly goes aggressive on the hunt toward mid. Decides to back off. Probably in part by the fact that they got the first kill. There's no real need for the risk. And Oscar will now sit inside of a smoke as Carrigan slipped out from the underpass. And decided to go by him. Crossfire set. Sunny would have been easily able to trade on that M4 should they have elected to push through. 2 players down, though. This looks good for mousesports. I say that and probably jinx it, but...
Well, we'll see. Definitely a promising round for mousesports here, but like we said, mousesports do struggle to close these sort of games out. As we get ever deeper here. Round number 11 could be it. Carrigan on the AWP. Guardian and Nico down, 2 of the absolute key players for this squad. 30 seconds. Not much sand left in the hourglass now. Oscar looks towards short, and he's going to find a guaranteed kill on Carrigan. There it is. That should be it now. There's no way. Surely they can recover this. Chris J completely confirms it, and there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Rain will be the last player to go down. mousesports there with a great victory. 16-10, and it will be them coming out on top after a 12-3 opening half. You thought, well, that should be a guarantee, but FaZe did come back into this one. They've got another map to go. They started to warm up towards the end, so hopefully they can make a better first half in the next one.
Well, we'll see if that's the case or not. We'll take a short break as always. Join back in with the desk, and we've got our second of a head-to-head coming up.